Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Trap Bodega featuring
Incognegro
and HanCholo. Today, we're going to be talking about SHAZAM. How we felt about it, what we think about it, yays, nays, maybes.
hoorays. There were a couple hoorays in there. Definitely.
Couple hoorays.
Definitely.
Okay. But yeah, let's get down to it.
All right. So I'll go over the plot for you really quick. If you have seen the movie, good. If you haven't, I would recommend go seeing it. I'll try to make it not too spoilery, but you can't really do a review without giving away some stuff.
Correct. So just be careful. Be aware.
But yeah, so SHAZAM, pretty much, it's a movie about a young kid named Billy Batson. He's a foster kid. He's had a little bit of a rough life, which I mean, I would guess most foster kids kind of go through. He finds out that he's been chosen to be the champion of a wizard called SHAZAM. And when Billy says the word SHAZAM, he's imbued with the powers of flight, super speed, super strength, super stamina, pretty much all the powers of Superman plus magic on top of that. He is the champion of the Rock of Eternity, which I guess in this universe is set up to be the birthplace of all magic. And yeah, so pretty much I'll go into it. The main antagonist of this movie is Dr. Sivana. He's played by Mark Strong, which he's been around for a while. A lot of you might remember him from the Kingsman movies. He plays Arthur. He's the one that does like all the tech and everything in those movies. He's been around for quite some time, and he delivers an amazing performance in this movie, I will say.
Which is pretty dope, right? Just veering off just real quick, slightly, but you know, to work for a Geek Squad agent and not a Geek Squad agent. He's not a Geek Squad agent, but pretty much he becomes a secret agent in that show. If you haven't seen it, it's a good watch. I highly recommend it. All right, back on topic.
All right, back on topic. Don't distract me.
Sorry.
But yeah, so Billy Batson becomes SHAZAM, and after that, he didn't really get any real formal training, so he doesn't know how to use his powers or what his powers exactly are. So he enlists the help of his foster brother, Freddie. And they do a little bit of testing. Which is probably one of the funner parts of the movie. He definitely tries to see if he can leap an entire building in a single bound. Fails miserably. Definitely scared the shit out of some people in his building. He also punches, a couple walls. Tries to fly, but just hasn't figured it out yet.
Which, in my opinion, if you are going to be imbued with power, I still say that you should absorb the information on how to use it as well. Come with an instruction manual.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have had some tablets or something like that. I don't know.
I give you that, but to be honest with you, if you've seen the movie, you know that SHAZAM the Wizard was a little bit of a bind. Which is also has another question for you, because Billy was kind of his last choice. He didn't have really anybody else to go to at this point. If you watch the rest of the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go too far into it.
Right.
But yeah, Billy, as he kind of starts to learn his abilities and how to use them, he also starts to try and make a little bit of a profit off of them. You can see there's one point where he definitely zaps an ATM so they can get some free money, which, in my honest opinion, is a pro move, because I would do the exact same thing if I could.
Man, I'm not saying that I would take millions, but you know what, man? Just cover mortgage.
Hey, man,
payment.
some rainy day funds, bro. I'll take it all.
Hey, just a little bit.
I'll take it all. But yeah, so while Billy is
make a car payment, anything.
Yeah, while Billy's, doing a little bit of a display of his lightning powers, he actually accidentally triggers a bolt of lightning to strike a bus, and the bus almost falls off the edge of a bridge. Which, by the way, this kind of ties into our reference portion of this. That's a nod to one of the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeves, where Superman has to save a falling bus on a bridge. So nice job out of DC for throwing that in there. And
Some
after
of y'all youngins might not know that.
and after he saves the bus, he kind of comes to the realization after some tough love from his brother that maybe I should do something good with these powers besides just trying to, make some quick change, a little bit of easy money. Maybe I actually can be a hero. And he gets that chance because his family is captured by Dr. Savannah, and Billy is forced to become the hero he never thought that he could be. And quite honestly, Billy is that hero. Well, Shazam is that hero.
Shazam is that hero. Billy, not so much.
Yep. So he gets into the big fight with Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah, who is in charge of the 7 deadly sins in this movie. And he uses them to have his own set of magical skills so he can actually fight Shazam and try and take his powers from him. And at this point, the climax of the movie, this also has one of the funnier parts in the movie because I don't know how familiar you are with comic book movies, but typically when the villain is, right at that pinnacle where he thinks he's about to conquer the whole world, he decides to give a nice, lovely speech to the world, and Shazam didn't hear not a damn word of it, which I thought was funny. It was actually really funny because he sat there and he talked to him like, I can't hear you. I'm pretty sure you're saying something evil, but I can't hear you from all the way over here. And fight continues. Billy has to rush back and save his family, and then he finds out that he has one last special ability. The ability to pass his powers on to his foster siblings. And once he does this, he imbues them with those powers. They don't have all the same powers as him directly, but each one is gifted with one. Darla becomes super fast. Freddy becomes super strong and can fly. Pedro has super strength. And his other sister, Allison, has flight and the wisdom of Solomon, which is pretty much she's super smart, or at least she pretends to be. That pretentious bitch.
Man, for me, I think that if I were to have any of those powers, I don't need super speed, I don't need super strength or nothing like that, because then they just put you to work harder. For me, man, just fly.
Hey man, that's one of the greatest questions ever, and they actually kind of nodded at this in the movie where when Freddy and Billy first meet before he gets his powers, he's like, "Hey man, if you could choose to have a superpower, what would it be? Would it be flight or to turn invisible?" Most people, you would think, when asked that publicly, they're gonna say flight because all superheroes fly.
Yeah,
almost every superhero can fly in some way, shape, or form.
Unless you watch that movie, The Chronicle, where they weren't really heroes or anti-heroes.
But that movie is also kind of like Akira, kind of, sort of.
Akira.
Yeah, the anime, the big anime movie. From like, what was that, like the 80s or some shit? It's back there. But that Chronicle reminded me a lot of that, just the fact that they all got the powers.
Okay.
Instead of just the
just
name.
One.
Yeah, instead of just the one. But yeah, that's pretty much the plot for Shazam. He's able, after he gives his brothers and sisters the powers, they're able to take down Dr. Savannah, save the day, and they actually get quite a bit of praise from everybody that was at the carnival during the big fight, and then they learn that they all have the power within them to be heroes. Next up on our agenda, we're going to talk about the actors and how they portrayed the characters themselves. I'm not going to lie, Zachary Levi definitely acted his ass off as Shazam. Because, it's kind of easy playing a superhero, but to pretend to be a superhero with the mindset of a child, that's not easy for most people to do.
No.
It's not.
Especially when, I guess as an actor, you should be a professional at acting, but you can't go. What did he say in Tropic Thunder? You can't go full retard. you can't go full.
Yeah, because I definitely will admit, there are some actors out there where they believe they're doing method acting, but they're just crazy as shit. Nicolas Cage. But But he definitely put on an amazing performance as Shazam. Even the kid, I forget his name. It's escaping me right now. It's Asher something. The kid that played the young Billy Batson, like he was another one. Because in a lot of movies, child actors annoy me. They either do too much or not enough, and I'm just like, why are you even here?
Most of the time they're crying.
Yeah,
it's like, why are
and
you
it's
crying?
just like full on overacting because they don't really know what they're doing, or rather, they just kind of want to go play Xbox.
For those of you who don't know his name, it's Asher Angel as Billy Batson, the young version.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We
Yeah,
talked
that guy.
about his friend, Freddie Friedman. That is Jack Dillon. All right.
Yeah, and Jack Dillon, he's been around for a little bit because I don't know if you saw it, but he was definitely in that movie. He played the one that was like mothered too much and like
sick and stuff.
Yeah, that one. Like so he's been around for a little bit, and he is definitely
another kid with some type of sickness.
Yeah.
Although he didn't really have sickness in It movie.
Yeah, because his mom had him taking gazebos, as he said. It's but yeah, like this movie, like these actors, like I don't know who was the casting director for this movie, but they did a really good job. Everybody gave spectacular performances from like just the top down, like even some of the sideline characters that you typically don't care about or shouldn't care about.
Sorry.
Hey man, but she played the adult version of Darla, and like that was another one. Like her performance as trying to portray like a 6-7-year-old girl, fire. You only see her for 5 minutes in the movie, but like that little bit of 5 minutes, she definitely kind of stole the show for me. I definitely want to give the actors their shout out. The director, definitely give him a shout out for dealing with this. Having to deal with people who had to pretend to be kids at heart. That's not always the easiest thing to do. It's hard enough for some people to pretend to be somebody else, let alone a kid the whole time.
Oh man, I have kids, and I gotta tell you, it's hard for me to just imagine what is going through their head.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing some things that they're doing. I'm just like, and to just try and play one, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Mark Strong as Dr. Savannah?
Mark Strong was fire. I mean, I'm a real.
What movie have you seen Mark Strong in that you really haven't liked him in?
Not a single one.
You
not a
really
single one.
He was
Whether
really
he
kick ass, he was good in freaking what is that? Sherlock Holmes, the first one.
Oh, the first one. Yep.
He definitely he's an amazing.
And no
villain.
matter what, if he's playing a good guy or a bad guy, that dude's gonna come in and put in some work.
Swinging.
He's gonna come in and put in some work, which is all you can really ask for from most actors, and the fact that he's a Brit.
Oh man.
Like,
Amazing.
which I mean, like that's a whole nother caliber of acting, I will say, because American actors are kind of hit or miss for me lately. Like, there's not too many like real good ones left, and quite honestly, I'm gonna let you guys in on some stuff. Most of the people you believe are the good actors, they're probably from overseas.
Correct.
They probably are from overseas.
Not a whole lot of I don't know if there's a whole lot of good coming out from America as far as like actors, is there?
Not really, because like I definitely feel like majority of the ones that like are like top tier nowadays, like
Especially Australia.
like yeah, like they got some up and comers. So it's like, America, get your shit together.
Man, say what you want about Mel Gibson. I know he's had some flack over the past couple years, but Braveheart is still one of my favorite movies, hands down. I don't know about anybody else, but man, I still go back and watch that movie, and I get so entangled in the story, and I'm just like, Mel, you had it, bro.
Yeah.
You had it.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a good character for him, because it's just like with him playing Mad Max. Like, he's essentially playing himself.
Correct.
Because he's another motherfucker just like Nicolas Cage. He got some issues. He got some demons.
Yeah, he got something going on.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what we thought about the actors in this movie. They definitely were amazing. They gave great performances. Next, you're going to talk about references, pop culture and comic book alike. So I like to look at this movie. The best description I can give it is, imagine a movie big with Tom Hanks, just with superpowers in it. It's almost like, it's the best like short description I can kind of give for the movie. Then they actually give it a big reference in this movie because in one of the scenes, Shazam and Dr. Savannah are fighting in a toy store, and they just so happen to fight on top of a piano little floor thing, like in Big.
Which, unfortunately, I don't know if you guys know this, FAO Schwartz was closed. So that big piano, it gone. Mm-hmm. Can't get that no more. So, thumbs up for the reference to the Big movie. I really liked it growing up, watching that movie.
It is. I mean, quite honestly, besides Forrest Gump, Big is definitely like my top 3 like Tom Hanks films.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Like without a doubt. Other references we can kind of give. We can talk about the other DCEU references that we get in this movie. Freddie Freeland, his T-shirt game is by far the swaggiest of all superhero T-shirt games. Like, in every scene, well, not every scene, but pretty much anytime they switched days, he had on a new superhero T-shirt. And it was just like, and I guess you don't get full-blown direct references to the rest of the DC universe in this movie. They give you small hints, like when they're fighting in a toy store, you see Batman toys, Superman toys, Cyborg toys. In this movie, you do get neck down cameo from Superman. I guess Henry Cavill.
Neck down?
Yeah, Henry Cavill wasn't available. Andor was busy, and other contract restrictions wouldn't allow him to actually do the movie. He was only able to. So what they had Zachary Levi's stunt double throw on the Superman suit, and they only shot him from the neck down. But that at least lets you know that technically this movie is within the rest of the DCEU, which I'm perfectly cool with, because I would love, and I really hope they can hold on to Henry Cavill as Superman, because I would love to see him and this Shazam fight.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to see that. Honestly, if we just pretend like none of the other movies, DC movies, happened, I'm down with that. Justice League never happened. Batman, the first Man of Steel, how dark and gritty he was,
and all the Jesus references,
and all the Jesus references.
That's another conversation.
But yeah, that's another conversation. But honestly, it's just so much was going on with those stories, and they had a lot to go up against. Marvel was getting it in, man.
Yeah.
So what can you really say about how those came out? They had no time. They had no.
Which in a sense, that's kind of their own fault, because they dropped that ball. Marvel has been killing it. I want not fully killing it. Because you definitely got your hit or misses. Iron Man 1 was good. 2 and 3, I could really give 2 fucks about. The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton was better than the original Hulk movie we got, but still kind of hit or miss for me. I definitely feel like if I wanted to grind through I'll put it like this: if I wanted to grind through all of the Marvel cinematic movies before I see Avengers Endgames, there's probably a solid 10 of them I would probably skip and or sleep through.
Yes.
That's just facts. Yep. Because not everything that you put out is going to be great. Not everything you put out is going to be well received, but sometimes you gotta.
Which the Man of Steel movie, I enjoyed it. It was enjoying to watch.
Yeah.
Was it enjoying as far as putting the puzzle pieces together? Probably not.
No, because there's definitely some highlights in that movie, because I can't think of his name, but the guy that played General Zod, I think it's Michael something.
Amazing actor.
That guy's performance as Zod was on point. It was on
I will find him.
I will find him.
Man.
And
he had me scared. I thought he was looking at my kid.
And I just kind of want to throw this in there real bit. If you ever go back and watch Man of Steel, I just want you to pay attention to all the dicks.
What?
Just pay attention to all the dicks. I don't know who was the core designer for a lot of this stuff, but there are a lot of phallus-shaped objects in the Man of Steel movie.
Like the old Disney movies.
No, like blatantly. Because even the scene we're just talking about, where Zod goes full on, I will find him. When they get all encased in whatever the fuck that shit is before they fly off into the bigger ship and go into the Phantom Zone.
Right.
Go back, watch that movie, look at each one of those pods, and tell me they don't look like a dick. Tell me all those little dicks flying into the giant dick. Tell me all those little dicks flying into the little dick, then flies into the fucking floating vagina in the sky. And you tell me that you don't see dicks in that movie. Either that or me and old boy from Superbad have a lot more in common than I thought.
All right.
But
Okay.
but yeah, there's quite a few references in this movie. And overall, at this point, like I can't give it a perfect 5, but I can definitely give it a solid 4 out of 5. There's some hit or miss there, but like definitely compared to the other DCEU installments we've gotten the past like 4 or 5 years now, I think.
Not to go off on a tangent, Aquaman, really good. Really good. Some parts still made it not so good.
I definitely, if you like Aquaman, you'll love this movie. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's the easiest way to explain it. Same thing with Wonder Woman. If you like Wonder Woman, you will definitely love this movie because it's a nice change of pace. Up until this point, the DC EU has kind of been dark and brooding, and this one is just fun. It's life-giving. It's lighthearted. It's got the perfect mix of action, comedy. Like, what more can you ask for in a movie?
It's cool for the kids.
Yeah, it's great for the kids. And quite honestly, like, I normally judge movies off of how many times I check my watch and or phone to see what time it is during the movie. And I gotta tell you, man, with this movie, I didn't check it not one time.
All right.
Not one time.
That's how we're gonna grade our movie reviews from now on. How many times you looked at your watch? All right.
But that's pretty much, that's our score. That's just our personal opinion. If you feel different, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Come at us.
Come at us.
Come to the Trap House Bodega if you want to.
Yeah, you don't want none of these paws.
No.
Mittens.
I got a 2-piece and a biscuit waiting for you if you want it. If you want that smoke.
And it's dry. It is a dry biscuit.
I'm talking about mummified.
I'm talking about mummified. All right, but thank you so much for listening. Until next time, this is Trap Bodega featuring
Incognegro
and HanCholo.
All right, and I just want to give one last shout out to our sponsors, Swisher Sweets, keeping black people smoking since 1975. We love you and have a good night.